How you doing, people? I thought we'd just do a wee hour tonight. I don't know, man, just to clear a few things up and moving forward and, meaning of friendship and just basically talking about anything that's possible. I'll wait until a couple of people are in. How we doing, Squirrel darling? How you keeping, man? You all good? I hope you're well, pal. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for giving us a wee bit of support. And there he is, himself. There he is, Mr. Fighting Irish. How are you doing, my friend? I hope you're well too, bro. Hope you're well. Aye, it is what it is, Squirrel Hen. It is what it is. You're just trying to move forward. That's just what it is, isn't it? Give me another couple of minutes here, just a couple of more people come in and that, and we can get into whatever it is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wee bit of speaking here now. Lambo, what are you saying, Lambo? And I'm going to do a wee bit of speaking about a couple of subjects and whatnot else. Then after that, I'll see if we can maybe stick a link out and get a couple of gabs. But I feel that there's a lot of shit needing spoke about that, you know what I mean, that certainly isn't me. But maybe I reacted the wrong way and I've took it the wrong way anyway. It's one of the ones where that's somewhere I didn't expect me to go, was going down this route, because that was something that I wanted to be. I wanted to be original in that style, and I was getting the help for the guys around about me to be that original, different guy on here, different channel on here. I didn't want to rely on a beef with somebody to try and get subs or anything like that, because it seems to me that's the blueprint these days. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want that. I want it to be through having been alright with everybody and having a talk and be able to fucking get into a chat, be able to get in and have a wee bit of diverse conversation. If not a diverse conversation, well, just talk about anything, any old shit, bullshit, you know what I mean? Rather than this, what about this one and what about that one? Just, what I've noticed is a lot of people forget we've got a lot of skeletons in your closet, right? And this is what I tried to say to somebody last night. I said to him, is there any, I've been watching this site now, I would say maybe 4 years. Maybe 4 or 5, something like that. Back to when Fighting Irish was doing his cartoons and all that, which I thought were fucking hilarious. Aye, he pushed the boundaries. How you doing, Maria? He pushed the boundaries at times, but it was funny content, and that's exactly what it was. It was content, and it was good. It was good. Aye, as I said, the wee man fucking pushed the boundaries, but it was... The two guys could go on at the end of it. The two guys could see each other for what they were and goes like, you know what? Fuck this. And that's what I've been seeing a lot more happening over the last maybe 2 months. There's a lot more people letting all the old crap and shit go. They've been right, listen, we might not going to be the best of friends, but this isn't healthy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm all for that. And if we can find some sort of form of middle ground, then happy days. And I want that. I genuinely want that for everybody. I would love to be in that position where we can all go like, do you know what? Right, you said some bad stuff about me and I've said some bad stuff about you, right? Let's find middle ground now, man, and find a better way of moving forward instead of constantly placating the same fucking gutter garbage every week. I'm tired. It's something that I'm not going to say on this channel, right? See the kids word? That doesn't go on in here. I'm not doing it. I'm not bringing even I'm not bringing that kind of thing in here, because all it is, it's just an easy way to go at somebody for that word alone. The strength of that word just makes people think and go, him and that word, you know what I mean? What are they doing? Oh, that's all it is. It's just a fucking buzzword that can totally trash a guy or a woman for the rest of their life. And I'm sorry, man, I'm no for that crap. I'm no for that kind of stuff, mate. But there was one. How we doing, Outlaw King Paul? There was one thing I was wanting to address, right? Because I went on a panel last night. It was kind of late on, and I went on the panel, and it was the girls, Lindsay, the Scottish lassie, who I seem to go on with. You know what I mean? I think the lassie's brand new. I think she talks away to me. You know what I mean? And we talk about, and that's just the way it should be. There's no gutter crap or anything. We're all just thinking, but something get brought up, and it was obviously through. And this is the first and the last time I'm going to speak about this, because I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the big fucking arguing with somebody back and forward. I want to move forward. I want as everybody to move forward, but there was something that I went on another channel, and I had said something, right? I had said something on the defence of somebody else, right? Now, maybe I did not have the visual evidence, but I had a moral evidence. And listen, I get it. It's down to who you know and what you know else, but in my eyes, morally and friendship-wise, that person stood out a million miles to me, to somebody else, and that's good enough for me, because these people have never sailed me down a wrong road. These guys have never took me and left me out to the slaughter. They've treated me the exact same way as I've treated them, and that's my way forward. And especially with you guys, because they've actually helped me a lot in this, because I was green under the collar. I was massively green under the collar in this. But there are a lot of thanks. Listen, pal, there are a lot of thanks. A lot of thanks needed for me on this side, but friendship, that was the main reason why I stood my ground and said what I said. Nothing more, nothing less. As I said, I've been watching these lives and all that for a long time now, right? And it was something that was said to me a while back, and it was very good advice. It was, you don't need to go into every chat. Why don't you just take a wee hour and don't say nothing? You don't say nothing. You just sit and watch. And there was a couple of people who were nothing but nice to me. Nothing but nice to me. I was like, wow, you're actually all right people, like, you know. But what it was is this, and getting into other chats, and you learn, you know, then you see what the modus operandi some of these people are. And that took me a wee bit of getting used to. But the people who I had surrounded myself at that time, they were a constant. They didn't deviate. They didn't move for that part. They stayed on that. And we started privates, right? And we done some privates. But lo and behold, to anybody, we never spoke about fucking anybody else. We spoke about life in general, what we were doing, and things that happen in the real world, things that happen with all of us as men, as fathers, as grandfathers. That is all we spoke about. So see people thinking that that was happening, you need to get your head a wash out, man. Because it's not the case. It's not the case. There was one, in fact, I tell a lie, there was one time where all the guys go together when it's what happened to Richard, right? That was it. We didn't need that, man. We didn't want to go down that route. We all came down the route of, right, how can we make this better for us? And that's the way it's always been. Now, I've seen some of my friends taking like wee breaks and that for YouTube. I understand why. I get it. It can really get to you. But as I say, I try and see things. I try and not to make what could I call it? I try and see things with both sides in a way. I try to understand why people do this, but it's hard to understand somebody when you've seen them at both sides and you know that what they say and what they're doing are two different things. And that was my situation with the lassie who was having a go at me, and she's currently having a go at Fighting Irish. Her what was coming out of her mouth and what else was getting said wasn't matching up to what she was protesting, and that didn't sit right with me. And see, if you're my friend, I'll stand by you left, right and centre, and I don't care what you've done in your past. That's the past. You know what I mean? I just want people to understand that friendship means something to me, mate. But people, it really means something to me. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but that's just who I am. I like to treat good people the way I like to be treated, and that's the way it's always been on here. But I'm not wanting to do this with that person anymore. I did say something on the panel that I was a wee bit actually shocked with myself that I said it, but it kind of it kind of made me think that I am just as infallible as the rest. I might be able to sit back and watch and think I'm this and think I'm that, but no, I make mistakes, and I just want to apologise for what I said last night regarding the jibe, nothing else, because I don't come out here and say things on here for the sake of there's no crap. I just want it to be, I want to come on here and be able to tell you truth, because I know in the future somebody's going to call me out on that. If I'm talking absolute spit on here, it comes and bites you up. It bites your ass. So that's why I think what I think about that person. But one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to keep it going. I'm certainly not going to slag the person, because at the end of the day, she's a mother, right? Who has her way of life, and that's up to her. But there's no olive branch or anything like that. I just want it to be known that keep me out of it all. I'm done. I'm done. I'm sticking to my core. And my full kind of thought process now is to try and find a way to where at least move forward. But anyway, sorry guys, I've got a wee bit of a sore throat here. Anyway guys, that was basically probably about another couple of wee bits and bobs that I want to talk about, but we'll do that through the rest of it. What I'm going to do is I'll maybe stick a link out in a wee 10-15 minutes, and we'll all get we'll get a bit of slagging or no, man. I seem to like it. I'm a glutton for punishment. But what I've noticed is, and I don't know if anybody watched the boxing last night, because I seem to have a different mindset to everybody else. Although I said Eubank would win, his size, in my opinion, his size got him through that. His size got him through that. Nothing more, nothing less. In fact, that's a lie. His ring, in ring, how he carries himself. That's my opinion. That's how I think he came through what he came through last night. It's big up Susie, darling. That's how I think he came through it. But I'm getting some numbers in the night, man. This is a new level for me. I'm starting to shake and everything. I wonder why. Excuse me. Now, going back, I know it's still on my mind here. Maybe I should just move on to it and hang with it. But I don't like nice people getting brought down. It's just something that's always been. Maybe that's something that's a flaw in me. But see, people who I know got a good heart. Aye, they've made mistakes, but they've got a good heart and a good thought process. Listen, I'll stand for you all day. I'll wear my armour and come out and stand with you. It doesn't matter what you've done. If I know you've got a good heart, I'll stand and fight with you. If I genuinely know, there's a different side to that person that's been shown. And there is one thing, and maybe I shouldn't be talking about this, but I'm going to bring it back up because it's something that's been on my mind for a while, right? The situation with what happened to Richard with Bristol Bomber, right? Now, there was something that I was privy to that nobody else, well, sorry, that's a lie. There was something that we were privy to that Peggy and that weren't privy to. Was we seen documents. We were able to see what had went on, and even if the text messages between the two hadn't been showed to me, the figures showed a hell of a lot more. So this is why I'm saying I feel, and I'm not being bad, right, Howler, I'm not being bad, but I feel that person, she's been fucking took down a garden path with that guy, I know. That's just my opinion. And it's not a nice thing. Because if you put your all into somebody, but they don't have the same for you, then you're going to get a fall down. You know what I mean? You're going to get a massive fucking boot in the ass. But that's why I was so strong and so adamant against the situation, what happened with Richard. You know what I mean? Because I know Richard Dutwithy here, and he's a nice guy. Richard's on here for the same reason as me. Yes, exactly, well, King, that's very similar to what you're talking about there. But listen, this is going to sound as if I'm giving it a bit of I'm better than yous kind of thing, but it's not meant that way. Big up Rickett River, Mac pal. It's not meant that way. What it's meant is I think education is a lot to do with a lot of the problems. Well, education and addiction is a lot to do with a lot of problems on here, because there's things just happen out of the blue in here. Just poof, out of the blue. And it just makes me think, what's wrong with that? What's made that way? What's made people go that far? And it's menial things. Do you know what I mean? Real menial things. Things that can be spoke about on a phone call and sorted out. But, as I say, I think a lot of it is, even illness as well. Illness plays a massive part in people's psyche on here. I'll be honest with you, that's what kind of gravitated me to this, because I wasn't in a great place when I started watching YouTube. I was in a very dark place. But I've been out of the last few years, I've been able to move forward and, have a beautiful family now, and I can only say thanks to that is for a mindset and changing my mindset and how I move forward and how I carry myself. And since I started doing that, my life has changed totally. 360. I mean, I was the guy that went to the pub and somebody said something and I about rolling about the ground with them and whatnot else. It was something that I was never scared of. I was never feared of a fight. It was just something that was drummed into me with my father. I was never feared of using my hands. But I think everybody has had this once in their life. They live under their parents' shadows and they try and make themselves up to be what their parents were. That was my fault. That's where I hit a brick wall, because I tried to be like my father and I never could be like him because I wasn't as hard-hearted as my father. I wasn't as willing to do the killer blow, if you can understand. But I see that on here with a lot of people, and it's playing up to, wouldn't they say, a reputation, playing up to a persona, and I don't think the persona is as good. Listen, this is just my opinion. See if you can carry yourself and you can come in and you've got a persona and you're not putting people down, and all you're doing is having a bubble, and you might say a couple of wee stupid things and whatnot else to people, but what you're doing is kind of uplifting the chat. People are uplifting the chat. People are jumping on somebody's jokes. See, some of the humour on this site, by the way, it's fucking second to none. Some of the things that get said in these chats, by the way, out with the bad stuff, it's second to fucking none, honestly. Some of the guys on here, mate, they could be fucking comedians, honestly. And even the ones that's gone at me, some of the things that fucking goes at me, I'll not react to it, but I'm pissing myself fucking laughing, because I'm no above ridicule, man. I'm not above anybody. You know what I mean? And either people call me boring on here, people call me the 100% guy, because apparently I say 100% all the time. And the new one was I'm Irish's lapdog, just because I'm a friend. I would do that for any of my friends. But it's me, and I get that. It just makes it easier for people when they're saying things like that to you. But it just shows you how weak they are mentally. Sorry about the voice here, guys, man. My voice is absolutely... It's killing me. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I get a drink of water. Can you hear me, guys? Anyway, it's good to... I can't believe the people that's in. I've just got to thank you all. Hi, Kenzie. I've got to thank you all. It's good to see you all, and it's good to... There's a kind of an eclectic mix in the night, which I love. But there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about out with the bullshit on here. I had watched... I've been keeping... As I say, I do this weekly. I kind of keep my ear to the ground regarding all the immigration stuff and everything that's going on, and all the stuff round about us, all the shit that's sent round about us to take our minds away from the real problems in life. You know what I mean? But one thing that did spark my intrigue was there's a guy on here because I think it's John Paul John Paul McDonough, so I can't, JPD or something like that he's called, man. I think he's doing a bit of training that now, trying to get himself together. He done a video showing the 100,000 Irish people coming together and standing on the streets and basically saying what should be said in every street in every city in Britain. And I felt in it, I felt a massive feeling of pride to see that even though it's no Britain, but it's, you know what I mean, it's still there. We've still got it. It's no too far down the line for us all to stand together, because we're on a massive slippery slope, people. A massive slippery slope. And I want to be on the right side of things. There's our Scouser. How you doing, my bro? It's good to see you, pal. As I said, I want to be on the side of good and fighting for the right reasons. You know, little does people know, I've actually started putting things into position for all the shit coming. You know, Dane, people might think I'm stupid, but I've started buying a wee bit extra every week. My partner, buying a wee bit, some food that, you know, that can be kept, and we're buying stuff. We're trying to learn different ways of electricity and whatnot else. See, all this stuff, that's what we all should be going basic to, because we don't know how quick all these amenities that we have can get stopped straight away. It's within the click of a button. And all it takes is for 24 hours of a power grid going out, and then the next minute everybody's running about working, getting off their head, looting and whatnot else. So it's one of the ones. I've got my way of moving forward and hoping and praying that things like that don't happen. But it gave me a wee shadowy hope when all the Irish people came together. Even in the one in Belfast as well. I couldn't believe that. There was no part of me believed that Protestant and Catholic would stand side by side. I never thought I would see the day. And see, when I seen that, honestly, the fucking tears. The tears were, I was like, oh my God. It just showed you that humanity, when it comes together, this is what we can do. When we come together, we be one. You know what I mean? I know people can say, it's one of the ones, you know, my friend's friend is my enemy kind of thing, you know, I get that. But no, I don't think it is that in this term. I think it's a case of they're realising that the thing that's been put on us. They realise what our governments are doing to us. And we are now, I wouldn't even say we're second-class citizens. I think we're third-class citizens. We are taxed to no end. We're sometimes taxed 3 and 4 times on a can of juice. You know what I mean? Something that can be made for like 8 pence, and they're selling it for like 150, £2. I know I might be droning on here, but it's just these wee type of things that I want to kind of bring awareness to. I got back to 4 years ago. I got back to 3 years ago. Me and my partner, we moved in together, and we had started, obviously, you know the drill, weekly shop, blah blah blah. So we had kind of estimated what every week, you know, how much blah blah blah. And see, now to the day for 3 years ago, it's nearly 43% higher in 3 years, our budget. And and my good lady she doesn't eat no crap. She's got a good mindset when it comes to looking after the family and doing the right thing in life. And you know what I mean? I wish I had her. I really do wish I had her way of thinking. And But it's good to see that she kind of helps me. She pushes me forward when I'm at my lowest. She's there to pick me up. She's there to help me. But it's not just that. It's hiya Tracy, pal. It's good. They're our house. How you doing, my pal? It's good to see all the good people. I'm glad you're all in tonight. Thank you very much, everybody. But back to what I was talking about. There's a lot of things lost on us now because they've took it away from us. They've took the modern family. It's been decimated, absolutely decimated. They made it okay for, they made it okay for women to become men, right? Listen, not in any way am I downplaying a strong woman who's got her own thoughts, who wants to go out and make money. I am all for that. I love to see a strong-minded woman with her own mind and can do things and can put a lot of different things into action. Because I seem to have one of them, you know what I mean? But it's pushed, the boundaries have been pushed now. The men have become more feminine and the women have become more dominant in a way. And this is where I feel a lot of the problem is happening, because I genuinely see we have a war and people start coming on the streets, England and Scotland and Ireland. I don't think we've got the men to stand up with balls and fight that anymore. Oh, guys at my age and, maybe up to about 35, aye. But see all these young guys, they have not got a clue, man. That's what me and my partner spoke about. I mean, she said to me, maybe you need to get yourself back into doing things that you used to do, because I used to train in that, you know what I mean? And over the last wee while, there's just been so much fucking happening in my life that I've kind of put it back to behind. But no, I'm going to need to move forward and start doing things, and that's part of me, because I want to be able to protect my family and my wee daughter. You know what I mean? It's something that I think we all should be doing as men. I think we all should be doing as men, is because we want to. But that is our job as fathers and brothers and uncles, and I think is being able to stand and be counted and hang with your family. Your family, because let's be honest with you, your family is that's the 100%. There's nothing else. Your family. I'm quite lucky in a way, because my partner she's very much in the line. I know this might sound draconian, this might sound that's quite chauvinistic, but my partner's in the way of thinking where the man is the head of the house. You know what I mean? It's not the kids, it's the man that's the head of the house, because if the man goes, everybody else in the house goes. And that's her way of thinking. And I think, personally, it puts more onus on me to be a better person and a better man. You know what I mean? It puts the onus on me to do things right and move forward right, to look after my family and how I do things right. And I think this is what we're all missing. We're all missing this point that, listen, a while ago, see, back in the 70s, this was all still in play. We still had those morals. We still had these things to move forward. We still had all these things in our mindset. It's just been the last 30 to 40, maybe 30 years. It's been decimated by a leftist mindset and a socialist mindset as well. It's just totally destroyed the family unit. And it's really sad. There's more single mothers and single fathers out there now than any other time in history. And not even through wartime. Do you know that? Even through wartime, even times when there were 600,000 people dying out of the space of a week in a war, that we now have more single mothers and fathers. And it's all down to the breakdown of the social unit. I felt it. I can admit it. You know what I mean? It affected my life. But I was very lucky to have a man in my life who was a strong, domineering, you know what I mean, military top man. You know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine turning into my mum and telling my mum no. My old dear would destroy me with just words. But then as soon as that big fella came in, I was on to a tanking. So the song that I didn't do was be cheeky to my mum. And I very seldom asked for money either. I created my own income. I was up out of bed every morning at 4:15 to go and do the milk. Come back for the milk. Back for the milk round about 10 to 6. Then I had 30 papers to go and deliver. That's where I got my PlayStations. That's where I got my Jordans. That's where I got my Ben Sherman shirts. That's where I got my Raven stuff. That's where I got to take my tickets to go to the resurrection and all that. I didn't get that from my parents. I got that for me. I worked that way. And I think that's been part of the reason why I've been able to do this. I've been able to kind of take this on to real life because I've always worked for my money, and it makes it that wee bit sweeter. I don't know. Oh, there's my friend there in the chat. Anthony, it's good to see you, pal. I'm glad that you've popped in. Yeah, you're 100% there, Anthony. It's good to see you in, pal. This is the guy I've been speaking about, guys. We're going to do a wee sit down chat next couple of weeks. He's a busy man, you know, so trying to get him pinned down for a couple of hours is is a wee bit hard. But listen, guys, I know there's only 28, 30s in here, but CB's can go and give the guy a sub, right? It's a different type of content, but just that something in that content might trigger your mind to something better, and I'm all for that. I don't know if any's hubbing out to see the guy's channel. 100% Scouse, bro. Thanks very much. Cheers, Irish, for putting that in, pal. But we're going to kind of give you a wee insight into what I'm going to try and do. Is like everybody here, we all have a story to tell, right? And our stories would be bestsellers compared to some of the crap that's wrote in books and made into films these days. Honestly, our stories are for real life situations and things that's happened to you. And see, right, Lucifer, pal, thank you so much, bro. And see, I didn't think I was in the right. I actually felt a bit, is this something that I should be doing? Because, I mean, what have I done in life, you know? But I was told, what do you mean you've not done in life? I mean, there's so many things that people don't know about me. You know what I mean? There people don't know that I played for Scotland and at badminton. You know what I mean? I was the Scottish champion 3 years running when I was 13. You know? I mean, nobody knows that about me. Nobody knows a lot of that about me, but there's other stuff in as well that I would love to kind of open up with people, but I would only do it in the right setting, and I would only do it for the right reason. And that kind of mindset to me is what this guy's kind of pushing forward, Anthony, is that kind of way. Aye, 100% Irish, bro. Cheers. You know, he's actually, there's a few people in here that'll maybe take what I'm going to say here away that I know they will, but I'm glad to see he's in here. I'm glad to see the good again. I'm so happy. But I'm a selfish cunt. That's my problem. I want everything. But he's on who he's up. I thought Lucifer was doing his own life. Right, 2 minutes and I'll set this link out, guys, okay? That's if you want to jump on. It's up to you guys. I can sit and talk away a wee bit longer if you want. I mean, that's not... See that one itself there. Look at that. Look at that, Outlaw King. That's priceless to me. That's fucking priceless to me. You know what I mean? Because I knew as soon as I came out with that, the humour would come. Good on you, mate. Oh, brilliant Outlaw. Absolutely brilliant. Aye, anyway, Anthony, just to give you a wee shout here, you can return the favour, you know. Start sticking our links into yours. You know what I mean? There's a lot more of yours than there is of mine. Nah, he's a good guy. Out with you here, he's a good guy. For a young laddie, man, he's got a good mind. He's very weird. I'm saying weird, that's the wrong word. It's weird to see somebody with the mindset, the educational mindset and the moral mindset that this guy has, you know, and it takes you back to think about it and you're like, wow, you only expect these things for like people who's lived their life and been able to reflect. And I mean, that's kind of what the kind of vibe I got of the guy. But aye, Anthony, yeah, we've been there before, mate, haven't we? We've been there before, bro. But aye, this is actually seeing you all in, guys. It's actually made this even better now, because I'll be honest with you, I was considering giving it a day. You know what I mean? Because I just felt as if I wasn't doing anything for anybody. I wasn't contributing anything. And now seeing everybody in and actually wanting to converse and hang with man, it makes it that wee bit better. You know what I mean? And it's good to see good people getting along and moving forward in life. But there was something else I was wanting to speak about, and it's just come into my mind there. I don't know if any of you have seen this new prophet that's came about, this new guy. Oh my goodness. This guy, he's professing to be, he's part Christian, part Jew, part Islamist, part this, part that, part... And he's saying he's the true prophet. 100% Lucifer, pal. You're right, pal. Real does recognise real, mate. 100%, bro. But I don't know if you have seen it. Can any of you... If you have seen it, give a one in the chat, because it does, it just fuels the mindset of conspiracy theorists. But you've got to remember, conspiracy theory... It was a made-up word by people, but there's truth in conspiracy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm looking at this guy, and I expected something like this. I expected all this to come. I mean, look at the Pope now. God rest his soul. Yeah, that's the Pope away, and this is this guy now, shouting for the masses what he is, and he's the one, true guy, to take us all forward as a as a unit and all the rest of it, all that shouts for me him is the devil. Everything I take for that guy is a very bad thing. I think there's better people out there who there's all, you know what I mean, there's better people out there who give a better message. I don't know if you can remember a year ago, the minister, I think his name's Manny or Mari or whatever, got attacked with a guy with a machete in his congregation, in his chat. I've listened to some of his teachings and they're quite good. They're quite good, and he has got some nice things to say, and how he actually goes into these war zones to stop and give food and give water and stuff like that. He's honestly, he's somebody that people should be looking up to and saying that's a role model there. That's a role model for humanity. Right, give me a minute. That's a link out, guys. That's a link out of any East Pansy coming up for the last maybe 20-30 minutes, and we can have a wee chat. Howlerhead, good to see you in, Paul. There's another person that I never thought that there was a possibility of me and him getting along, and he's actually a funny fucking guy. Look, hey, Howlerhead, some of his videos are brilliant. 2 minutes, Lucifer, pal. He's an absolute fucking gem, man. Some of his stuff's brilliant. I think he's a cheeky cunt, but ain't we all? Some of his stuff's brilliant. Some of the things with the figures and that, fucking brilliant, man. Honestly. I'm trying not to swear as much, man, but hey ho.
How you doing, mate?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Yeah, I was live, but someone said you was live, and I thought, right, we'll go over and see you then.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to do that, bro. I'm sorry, mate.
No, Wishy. I was going to end it, but someone said in my chat that you was live, so I thought I'd go over, because I ain't been here before, look.
You're more than welcome over here, you know that, bro.
I only just realised I wasn't sub to you, bro.
I'm sorry?
I only just realised I wasn't even sub to you.
Right, get out then.
Oh, God. You joke then.
How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, I'm doing well, mate. Do you know what, Wishy? It's good to have another channel out there that's grown up. It's weird to say, but yeah, grown up.
Yeah.
That was lovely listening to what you said, bro.
There needs to be a couple channels out there trying to balance the bullshit for the warring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of the ones. You've got to have somewhere where you become.
Yeah.
You've got to have somewhere where you can come and just talk. Just get it all out, whatever it is, and then sit and have a laugh, man. You know what I mean? I'm all for that. I'm all for it's all. And that doesn't mean to say that that's for just one or two of all these people in here. I've said for day one, see we want to come in and sit and listen and sit and anti-conversation and that. I hold no grudges. I'm never going to tell somebody they're not coming in. But what I'll say is there's going to be, and this is going to sound authoritarian, but speaking of kids, that doesn't happen. As soon as I see it, you're off, right? Unless you can come out and tell me a good reason, and there is a good reason for it, then you're off. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Exactly the same as my channel, Wishy. All my
doxing, mate. See
Sorry.
this doxing thought process that people think is all right. Right. I'm all one for retribution. If people do something, then they should be
Absolutely.
something back. But I'm not the guy to say what that thing is. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I know what you're saying, Wishy. Say no more. Yeah, yeah. There's ways to do things, and that's not it, is it? You know what I mean?
No. What about yourself, mate? How are you keeping?
I'm doing absolutely brilliant, mate. Seriously, yeah, I'm doing better.
That's good to see, Paul. I've seen you. I've been in and popped in a few times, mate, to see you live and that, man. I've seen you've been busy with other
Yeah.
things and that, mate.
Well, you
But
know the situation with the flat, don't you? Then.
no, I don't, mate. I'm sorry. Can you?
Well, basically, my son trashed it, yeah, and
Oh,
I met someone, yeah. All he had to do was put electric on and keep the flat clean. I come back one night after splitting up with the missus, didn't have no idea because he kept telling me the flat's all right. Just go to my community page and check it out. The videos are there, wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling of just bin bags and everything, mate. He ruined my flat. It was made unlivable. So yeah, that was the beginning of the year. Now the flat's literally done now, thanks to people helping me out. Brilliant, mate.
See, there you go, mate. That's another way of thinking about it. And listen, mate, it's horrific. I've been maybe not to the extreme that you have just had there, but I've been to a big extreme with one of my son, in fact, very similar.
Yeah.
And that's what I was getting at earlier on, mate, with this mindset and this how the young people see the pound means none because they never need to worry about it.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's right.
See, if I wanted things, I had to go and get them myself.
Me
I
too.
couldn't go in and say to my mum and say, "Mum, I want the new Jordans."
Nah.
You know what I mean?
We had nothing. You know, we had nothing.
See, some of
the bad it was, right? My mum used to have to be like in South Wales, and you know, like I can say it, people used to steal the coal off the lorry trucks, off the.
100%. Mate, we had a quarry up next to us.
There you go then. But we were that poor. Even my mum, pregnant, was helping my dad carry the coal back. That's how bad we had it.
My mum was the same, mate. My mum was the exact same, mate.
Yeah.
Honest. See some of the stories my partner tells me about her life and the things that it resonates so much. And it takes, but see that, mate, that takes me back to a good place.
Oh, 100%, mate.
That was a part of my life that was good, but not just hard times, but when you call it, you know, I was happy back then.
I was too, mate. I was
really happy back then.
We had nothing, you know, where we lived, no one had nothing, but it was beautiful. Like the countryside, you go out, you play all day and stuff. Not like these kids these days, stuck indoors all day. It's
100%.
And that, Rishi, is the problem I had with my 30-year-old son that trashed the flat. All he was doing all day was sleeping all day, apparently, playing Xbox all night and drinking and smoking weed. And
this is what they do, mate.
It's stupid, isn't it? God. It's ridiculous.
Do you know what it is, mate? Right? And this is something that a lot of people, you probably get into trouble for this, what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
If we had done that, mate, we would have got our backs broken.
Oh, well, yeah. My dad was old school. Yeah.
Right. If you understand where I'm coming from here, mate, this isn't an attack at you in any way, pal. We're different for them, mate. They're still a part of us with that mindset. But because we were the ones that received it when we were bad, we don't want to put that on them. And that's our fucking faults. Because we should have just done that. We should have gave them the hiding so then they knew.
And that's the thing, yeah. If my children would have been brought up the way I was brought up, well, any kid, it'd be a lot different. I didn't fear my father, but, you know, only once or twice I got the belts, you know what I mean? I could say that because he's passed away now, but yeah, my dad was that dad. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's straight.
I've said this before, Lucifer. I've said this before on here, but I never got hit with a belt, right? The only object I ever got hit in the face with was a spade, and it was off my dad because I'd asked him to borrow me money, and he basically turned round. It was a case of a learning lesson for my dad. You know what I mean? I'm not always going to be here. You need to make sure you've got money. And I've turned round. I wanted to go with the boys to the pub and that. You know what I mean? I'm hanging big. Two of my mates beside me, and I walks into my dad's house, and I'm like to him, give me any 20 quid or something like that. And he's like, nope, you're getting nothing. Out you go. And I'm like, my way back out. I mean, there was no way I was getting to challenge him, man. My dad was a big fucking guy, man. He was a fucking monster of a guy, man. He had brute strength, but he had also intellect, I know. And I was like, no, in my way out, I muttered under my breath, fucking old cunt. You know what I mean? And the next minute I turned around, I can feel the white stars off my face. You know, I'm like, what the fuck?
In one them words,
you run like a motherfucker, man. I run like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I bet you did, man. But then again, like I said, look, my dad only hit me once or twice, maybe a couple of slaps on the arse, but he didn't have to.
I felt the knuckles
up, then I'm getting it, you know? It was one of them. I didn't fear me dad, but yeah, if I fucked up, then I did fear him. But yeah, he was one of the old school ones. But I'll tell you what was horrible, and then I won't talk about it again, but he used to batter my mum all the time. I've spoke about it on my channel. And the worst day of my life was the day I had to stand up for myself to my dad.
I've been there, pal.
That look in his eye when I actually stood up.
Sorry, listeners, before I don't mean to be cheeky, but see the percentage of this chat. I'm sure a lot of these people in this chat will hang with testify to that too, mate.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it was a normal fucking thing back in that time.
It was. I'm sorry, yeah. I mean,
it's bad to see that, mate. But I've been there, pal. I've seen it. What you were just going to say there, I've done that. I've had to do that. I've had to do that.
In his face, innit? That's what killed me. Horrible.
Aye, and people don't realise, and they wonder why people are dealing with trauma, right?
Yeah.
See, the trauma we all received is when we were children. We never got the term ADHD or hyperactive. Yeah, that was it. You were just a young laddie who was a wee bit much, but as soon as you hit puberty and you started working, everything would move into line. Absolutely. You know what I mean? There wasn't any of this stuff, but nowadays it's quick to give people medication.
Wish I can name 8 people now in this little that's got it, but it's strange, yeah. And that's just in this one block of flats I live in. They've all got it. They've all been diagnosed with it. It's, I don't know, it's silly. Like you said, and you're right, back in our day, you were just a naughty little shit, you know. It's a cop-out, I'm sorry.
100%. 100% it was a cop-out, mate. But it hardened me for a life to come, mate.
And it did me, mate. When I left home at 15, I was sorted. My dad taught me things like, because he was an electrician, so I knew how to change a plug, wire up a socket, anything. You know, it was good. But then, like you said earlier, mate, like I've worked all my life since I could. You know, paper rounds a lot because my parents wouldn't give me handouts. We didn't have it, so it was one of them. I had to earn
talking to the choir here, bro. You're talking to the choir, pal.
Yeah.
Been there, my pal. Been there, and I'm glad I was the way I was, bro. You know what I mean? I had that in me faith. I was a young boy that I wasn't going to be held back by people. My parents not being able to fund what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, because
my dad didn't really show me love as such. Didn't even really show me that he was proud of me, but I knew he was. And I know now why he did do that. He done that to prepare me for when I left.
See what you said there as well, mate. Again, that will resonate to every person, not just men, the women in that too. That's how these.
They wasn't like that. They wasn't, was they? They never, my dad
That's
didn't.
how these men had to be. This is how these men had to be to get through the life that they hang with, to harden up and fucking bite the upper lip and just go, do you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The mother was the one
when I was 21, that's when my dad first said to me that he's proud of me. He was like, there you go. He goes, I'm proud of you, son.
See that, mate? That resonates a lot with me, mate.
Yeah.
It really does. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go down the route that I could go down. But
look, I'm an ex-heroin addict, and luckily enough, I got off it just before, the year before my dad passed away, and he, on his bed,
that's proud of you, mate.
He actually poured his heart out to me. He was like, I was hard on you because I wanted you to live out, not live how he lived, you know what I mean? And it was just, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just glad
you're proud of yourself for how you're doing things these days, mate.
Yeah.
I certainly am, mate. You're doing, for what I see and what you're doing now, mate. Honestly, good on you, mate. Because you're just making a better life for yourself, pal.
Yeah, it is. It is wishy. Now the flat's done. I'm actually sat in my lounge now. It's nice instead of just. I just wish my son could be like it. He's 30 years old and he's still playing Xbox and he's got no life, mate.
Listen, mate. I'm in very much the same type of situation, but what I've had to do is tough love.
Yeah, that's all that. That's cut him off at the minute, Bushy.
Listen, mate, I've had to take a step back.
Yeah, same here.
There's nothing more I can do.
Well, wish you get this, I can't remember when, December, let's say January, that I kicked him out. I've had 3 people ring me up since asking me to take him back for the same reason, because he's disrespecting them and stuff. So he's not learned. So, no.
Well, see what you're saying there? Some as I say, very similar situation, mate, with myself. Yeah. And see, I done the wrong thing. I never hit, and this people might think this is bad, but I never lifted my hands to my kids.
No, did I? No.
My voice was enough.
Same as me.
I've got on this. It might come across thing, but I've got a different kind of a tone when I'm angry. And
but you're the same as me, Wishy. I might be wrong, but you might be the same. I didn't want to be my dad. That's the main reason I think I've never raised my hands to my kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, mate. This is where I'm coming from, saying that's been our fault, mate. We've no carried through what we were taught. Hold on a minute, this is the right way to go.
Yeah.
It's Anthony, 100%, mate. 100. I've been told that many a time. That was a firm statement in our household, son. Wasn't it?
And that's all I had to do.
That was it, mate. Let a look be enough. That's all we go.
Mum, she's only 4 foot something, and that look when she even now when she's 73, that look, and it's that
was the phrase. Let a look be enough.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll tell you what, so many small words, but how powerful they were in my life. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or the other one was, I'm telling you, Dad. that was another one. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I can remember, I think I've told this story before, man, but I can remember I got caught smoking. I was maybe about 16 or 17 at the time, so it was legal. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And, I'm standing down with my mates down at the local chip shop, Friday night. I think I've got a wee bottle of Diamond White in my pocket and a wee half bottle of Mad Dog in the other pocket, and I'm stunning with all the birds, you know what I mean? So I've got this fag hanging out my mouth. Well, what my dad thought was a fag. It was a joint. And I'm stunning, and I've got this kind of swagger on me, and I'm smoking it into the air, and hinking on fucking Billy Big Bollocks, you know what I mean? And I turned around, I turned round and I looked, and then I could just see my dad sitting in the motor. I was like, oh no, oh no. And I started running. I run and run. It's about half a mile from where we were to my house, and I run, and just as I was getting in the house, I seen my dad's car pulling up into the driveway, and I run, and I went, you know what I done? Hid behind my mum.
I've done that loads of times.
16-year-old man, I'm hiding behind him. And my dad's like, if I catch you smoking again, you're getting it. And I was like, getting what are you talking about? I don't think I'm fucking stupid. And I ended up getting a belt in the mouth because I didn't tell the truth. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you my story. When I got caught, I was having a cigarette, and my brother, he's like, I'm going to go. My brother was a little shit. I'm going to go and tell Dad. So I raced back before him. Anyway, he got there first. My dad sat there with his face. My mum sat there. So anyway, long story short, my dad's there fuming. My mum turned around to me, and my dad goes, if you can smoke this, he goes, properly, he goes, then you can smoke. So anyway, I smoked it properly. He's gone upstairs to his room. Mum's like, right here, she was, there's 4 cigarettes. And he was like, no. And every day, my mum would give me a couple of cigarettes behind his back, like, but, smoking.
All the best for that, Mark. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, it was horrible, man, smoking that cigarette in front of him.
Listen, I want to say something before you go any further, pal, right? I've just noticed that a guy who I've known on this, the kind of day dot, Gav B, Gav's made the decision to move away from this side, move away from it all, and I just wish you all the best, pal. I do wish you with love in my heart, and hope that you can find and will do your calling in life, mate. I think you have already found it, mate.
You will do, Gav. I speak to Gav a lot on Facebook as well.
Yep. That's the kind of mindset I'm at with you, Gav, mate, and I hope it all goes well, pal. And you know where I am. If you need any help, pal, you know where I am.
Yeah.
It's always love, bro.
Just because you're leaving Dad doesn't mean you're leaving us, bro. Seriously, keep in touch.
Aye. Some of the stuff that's happened over the last kind of couple of weeks with Gav, I think it's strengthens his resolve.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, Gav wouldn't mind me saying, but yeah, and you know, the last few years for the lad, really. You're a legend, Gav. You'll find your calling, mate. Trust me, you will.
You better believe it. Well, listen, there was something I was wanting to say. Sorry, Lucifer. I'm going out to Ireland next week, mate.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm going out to Belfast initially and go and see some friends, some friends on that I've met on here. You know, I cannot wait, mate. I cannot wait to get out and get a couple of days just for some patter and, you know, some patter, maybe a couple of brown ales or 2, but nothing too much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? A couple of wee sherbets, but I'm looking forward to it, mate, because knowing what I know now with the people I'm going to see, it can only be better, mate. It can only be better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can only be better. And some of the people are in this chat that I'm going to be going out to visit, and it's not just men. There's women as well. You know what I mean? But they know who they are, man, and I can't wait.
I want to say a minute, actually, Wishy. All you lot, yeah. Since I've been back, you lot, and I might sound soft, but I love you all the bits because you make my life so much better now, and I just can't thank you lot enough for your support with my health and everything else. You're legends. That's what you are. You're legends.
Listen, the only advice I can give to you, pal, for that point is just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't deviate from it. Don't deviate from it for anybody.
No.
You keep doing what you're doing because look, as you said there, you've found a group of legends who's run about you. Right, now that's the reason why you've got these people is for who you're now.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't need to be anybody else bar you, mate. Just remember that,
tell
mate.
everyone, you know, just be yourself. You know, I get ripped apart in my chat, as you know, but I love it that way. You know, it cheers me up. It's brilliant.
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, Phil Graham the other night said my nan and granddad and my uncle that passed away looked like the Wests. It's just stuff they say.
With Phil, though, you don't know what way to take things at times, didn't you know?
Which he honestly, when he said it, because you know Phil Graham, it's all banter. When he said it, you could literally feel the whole chat just go,
Yeah.
oh, sugar. But it's Phil Graham.
Well, listen, if you've got that relationship with that person, good on you, mate. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Good on you.
Even my mum's seen the live, because my mum watches the lives, and she's seen him say it as well, and she just done a little video to him as well, calling him a CUNT. But it was banter, you know? Yeah, she was like, Phil Graham, I'm a And what did he call it? He called my mum grot bags. He goes, I'll take grot bags and you on Lucifer. He's brilliant, Phil Graham is.
Do you know what I've been looking at?
I lost my best friend, and I was heartbroken. Phil Graham came into the chat, said something. It turned my whole mood around for the rest of the day. I can't thank him.
Good. And that's all it should take, pal. That's all it should take.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I've been looking into, Lucifer? Do you know what I've been looking into? Sorry?
Do you know what Monk's done to me today?
No, I don't know.
Well, last night I was on GCTV.
Yeah, General.
Right, I don't drink, yeah? So anyway, long story short, I got blabbered last night, fell asleep on the couch. Monk comes into my chat earlier and he's like, oh, last night you went on one, like, offering everyone out and everything. I thought I did.
No.
I spent 2 hours on YouTube earlier looking for the people that I'd supposed to call out, found out I didn't. And yeah, Monk and all these little sausages done it to me, didn't they? Oh, I was scared, man. I thought, oh no, maybe I did, but I don't think I did. But did I?
I've been there, mate. I've been there, bro. It's
I was
nice.
chatting myself by the people he said I called out.
Oh, mate, you took me back there.
Yeah. Apparently I called Bob Cart out as well, but I'm thinking, did I? Because I don't drink. Yeah. Thanks, Monk.
I'm sure it's off a good place if it's Monk. I'm sure it's a good place.
Is, yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
Some people,
I call him my twin and he gets round up at me.
Baseball.
It's all good.
You know what I mean?
Right, then, I'm going to head off, mate. I'm going to go and have a nice bath in my nice new bath and get my head down, I think.
Right, well, thanks very much for coming up, Lucifer. Listen, you're always welcome. And see everybody in this chat, they'll tell you the exact same thing, pal.
Yeah, well, no, I thought I subscribed to you, look, so obviously I wasn't, but now when I see you like me, I'll jump in. The same goes for you, like.
Your other devices may get somebody, man.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, I'm not going to I'll tell you what, if you want a good laugh, let one of these lot tell you about my escapade with a transgender person. Just ask that and these lot will tell you. Oh, my God.
I think I'll leave that to maybe another day, mate, man, because
yeah, I would. I'm surprised they ain't mentioned it now because, yeah, it's been going about 3 days. It's been all over YouTube. I got catfish. Oh, sugar.
They're Irish coming up with it. We'll get that.
Well, yeah, Irish probably knows about it as well. Yeah. Right, I'm going. Right,
that subject another time, bro.
Shouldn't have said nothing. Right, good night, my lad, and God bless you. All right, take care.
Take care, bro. See, there you go. How easy is that? How easy is it to have sat and have a conversation out with the arguing and barguing and, you know, there you go, just a civil conversation there, and some of the things that guy is going through resonates with me, and I've no doubt it'll resonate with some of these. Do you know what I mean? It just shows you how alike we are and how stupid we hangs like a wee bit of humour. And, you know, it's all right saying somebody, oh, I'm thinking about you and I hope you're well, and you keep that. That's great. I'm all for that. But I'm also for people having light-hearted humour, because it does the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It does the same thing. It tries to make good of a bad situation. Some people take it a wee bit too much. But aye, Maria, tell me about it, hen. We're all the same in here. We're all the same in here, pal. But listen, this is the way this is going to be. I know I've been saying it for the last few lives. I'm going on. I want to do something different. I want to move to move into something different. But in the next couple of weeks, I think I'll have a wee bit of content available so that I can show you, throughout my journey next weekend and throughout, me moving forward. You know what I mean? But you're right there, Tom. That line is a very grey area. You know what I mean? It's a very grey area. What's the right line and where you can move on and such. But I'm glad the percentage of people that I've met on here actually meet that line, and if they do go a wee bit past it at times, you know that it's coming for a decent place because you know what you're used to with them. Do you know what I mean? You know that, aye, it might be a wee bit hangry, but you know where they're coming from, and you're like, right, okay, you cheeky cunt, you know what I mean? But that's where I try and I mean, listen, come back to talking about the privates and that we had. Fucking hell, man, talking about fucking the cesspit for being fucking slagging each other. I'm telling you right fucking now, man, some of the patter that goes on in that was going on in privates and that, it was priceless. Absolutely priceless, some of the slagging. And listen, it kind of helped me move forward, and it learnt me a lot about this side, because it can be done. It can be done. I mean, there were some things that if you'd have said these to somebody else out on the street, they would have killed you. But it's all good. It was all good. It was coming from a place of laughter and jokes and sitting talking about, times in our life where we made mistakes and what we done, and, all these things that we done we might have fucking hurt ourselves, or we might have failed, or we might have made a mistake with, a partner one night, or you maybe get yourself into a whole mad situation and laugh at yourself about it and what you've done. Do you know what I mean? See, this is one thing I don't understand about this StreamYard. Why it doesn't just have an automatic button to put out the link. You know what I mean? There should just be a wee thing you press. Don't get me wrong, maybe I'm just thinking too much for it. But I thought things were meant to make make it easier for you. But there's one last thing I want to talk about before I hang up the gloves for the night. Is to go back to this. I know we kind of skipped over it a wee bit, but to go back to this false prophet. It scares me. It really does scare me, because it then makes me realise that a lot of people, a lot of conspiracy theorists that have been making videos and have been, telling people this for a long time, all this does is plays right into their hands, right? Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not bringing the people to disrespute over that. No, I'm just saying, that's all it does. It it hangs their enthusiasm to keep going and keep digging and keep digging and keep digging. And in my mindset, I think this is what they're wanting. I think that's what they're trying to take our minds away from the stuff that's actually going on about us, the changing of our laws, the immigration, the the taxation, everything, and they come out with wee other bits and bobs. There you go. I mean, look at the alien thing in America. Right, now that's it made it to Congress. Give me 2 seconds, Anthony. That's it made it to Congress about it. Talking about UFOs and that, and that's something I never thought the day. But then looking at it, it all just hangs. It resonates with me now, and I'm like, they're just doing that to placate the masses. How we doing, bud?
All righty. How are you doing?
How you keep? Oh,
Not bad. Yourself?
no bad, mate. No bad. I'm glad that you've come up. Everybody, this is Anthony, man. He's a good guy.
How he's doing? Just thought I'd pop in with this false prophet thing. Who's this guy you're on about?
Have you not seen it?
No, I don't think I have.
Right, I'll send you a link to it, okay?
Aye, but
He's just come out of nowhere, this guy. He looks like Muslim-esque, but he professes to have the, he's actually coming out and saying he has the lineage to back up his claims.
So he's part of the bloodline of Melchizedek, he's trying to say?
No, I'm talking about everybody. See, all the religions.
Aye.
He's got this thing with, he's got this divine connection to Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Islam. He's got this connection, and this is what he's saying. I want to bring everybody together, and I'm just like that. This is what's been coming. I mean, as I said, God rest the Pope. You know what I mean? The old man passed away there, and as soon as he does, what happens? Something like that jumps up.
Aye, these government plants. That's
by design. It's all by design.
It's all government plants. See the UFO things. I mean, you've seen Barack Obama. What they do is they preempt their minds before maybe about 10 to 20 years. They think 20 years in the future. Well, we're struggling to pay our bills, month to month, and then they hit us out with the biggest shit of the day. Do you know what I mean? They pull out like conspiracy theories and all this pish and all that, so that we start arguing with each other.
Aye, then behind the background, the normal shit. How we doing?
Aye.
Irish.
Go ahead. Just listening. All right. Go ahead.
We're just talking about that shit.
The Obamas bringing out directing a movie called Civil War and all that. That's preempting the Americans' heads and that.
It's already out, isn't it?
Aye. So it's basic. I think it's called predictive programming. The Simpsons have done it, and have done it for years, man. The CIA's used Matt Groening like a tin bob hour.
I don't think you're talking about. Well, this is just my opinion, mate. I would say it's more on a line with secret society kind of thing, mate.
Mm-hmm.
If you can understand, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm doing a hole that.
No. There's definitely a deep state, man. Because you've seen them all. You've seen them all running about, man. When the polls came in, when Trump was the favourite, you've seen them trying everything. Well, the boy got shot, didn't he?
That's right.
You've seen them trying absolutely everything, man, when he get brought back in. And then what you're seeing now with Russell Brand, with these cases popping up out of nowhere for 25 years ago, just after they get baptised, you're like, there's an attack on Christians, definitely. But not just that, there's an attack on the Western nuclear family unit. And they've tried to dissemble that since the 1950s onwards.
Aye, 100%.
Under the guise of multiculturalism and you be tolerant, all this pish.
There were a lot of it passed through, mate, through the guise of racism.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and there were a lot. Don't get me wrong, mate. Ethnic people, they serve no bad thing to me. I'm not the type of guy that goes round about and says like the things that you're not supposed to say. But there's a lot of things get swept through Congress
Aye.
and the Parliament under the guise of
Labour.
that. Yep.
It's Labour's guilty for the last for all these gangs, and it's still happening. Did you see the boy the other day on Glasgow Live?
No.
Right, supposedly there was a boy that was taken. His name's Naheem or something like that. Don't know his origin country, but he's here as an immigrant, and obviously was taking photos of lassies skating at East Kilbride. There was none of his kids on the rink. There was only 5 or 6 kids. Anyway, some dads took it into their own hands.
Yeah.
And gave a pasting, and he posted a selfie. Then all of a sudden overnight, all the papers had a racial motivated attack written, and you're like, you've not even took these details or processed anything, but you've came to the conclusion. It's weird.
100%, mate.
And it's weird, man. It's like nobody's ever said it was because his ethnicity. It was because he was filming kids that weren't his.
Yep.
And then couldn't he explain to the dads why he was doing it? So he got pasting.
Yep.
It's just common knowledge here. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
But they turned the comments off.
I think, have I?
No, Glasgow Live turned the comments off and posted it as a racial motivated attack.
I'm still learning here, mate. Irish, ain't I?
100%. I seen the day as well. I think it was somewhere in Leeds. It's this fella. He made a big mad Facebook post, and then 2 hours later, I think he's attacked fucking 2 people with knives or something. Is it in Leeds or something there today?
I'll look up on that one, mate.
Easy, man.
I seen it on your woman's TikTok. No, your woman that covers all them fucking missing bodies and all that stuff. Your woman has seen it on hers, so did.
I'll need to do a wee bit more digging on that, mate, man, because all this kind of stuff, I think we all should be knowing more about it, you know what I mean?
I actually screenshot it myself. I just didn't know where to post it to YouTube in case Wallops, you know what I mean?
Well, see that, mate, even Ireland, Northern and the Republic, yous are going through a time, mate, with all that shit the new day, and a lot of it's no being put out to the press. They're kind of hiding it, and the only reason it's getting put out, mate, is through like self-journalism and stuff like that.
It's in a lot of rural areas.
Yep.
Towns and stuff where the population is like 200 or something. Do you know what I mean? And so right away when they throw their people in, sure, they're matching that population right away. You know
easily, aye.
They tried to hide that. They tried to hide the UVF and IRA walking on and on against it, didn't they? They tried their hardest.
I spoke about that earlier on in the live, mate.
And that speaks volumes to us.
See, when I seen that, mate, it's something that I never thought I would see in my lifetime.
Same.
But as I say to you, if there's something that strong that can unite people together, it shows you what's coming. These people know what's coming, and they're standing together for it. And do you know what? It actually makes me give me hope for humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. Because it makes you think we have got strong boys out there that are ready to, go in this, you know what I mean, front line. They don't care about the tropes. They don't care about the.
Look what's going on. Look what's going on in Glasgow in a minute, bro. They're fucking families feuding like fuck. So could you imagine fucking all them just fucking took to the fucking streets too? Do you know what I mean? Instead of fighting each other, do you know what I mean?
Exactly, man. They want us fighting each other, though. That's the main thing.
100%.
It's divide and conquer, isn't it? Simple case of divide and conquer.
That's what I'm saying. I grew up in Belfast and it's fucked up, you know what I mean? And then you moved like 20 mile, 15 mile actually, just outside of it, to where my ma lived. I first moved there, do you know what I mean? And you can go into a bar, Salty Rangers top, sit together and fucking, and it's like you're 20 minutes down the road, you know what I mean? Where it wouldn't happen up in Belfast, you know what I mean? Maybe now, but not a couple of years ago it wouldn't be, you know what I mean?
It's crazy, as I say, I can only see it for the better, and I'm talking about the communities coming together. But this, I've just got this think the new Jerry that it's going down It's going down a dark path, and I think it's going to be pulled out on a guise of a civil war. And I think our own country is going to side with the immigrants. Our own governments are going to side with them.
Because that's where their votes are.
Yeah, this is where the motivation comes from. You know what I mean? They're funding it. I don't know if any you've seen. See, Trump put out. He went and he started showing you some of the corruption and that was going through. He was showing you there were some bits in countries in the world where America was actually funding people to come to America, immigrants, illegal immigrants through the border.
Joe Biden had a taxi app set up, like an Uber, where they could just go in and book a time, and then their taxi would show up at the border, take them out.
Crazy, man.
Honestly, look it up.
Absolutely crazy. Scouse, are you there?
Yeah, man. Just
how are you doing, my pal?
Good. Oh, good. You're all good, Wishy, yeah.
Brand new, pal. Listen, this is a good friend of mine that's on. This is Anthony.
How you doing?
A good guy, mate. A good guy, Scouse.
YCC, if you click on that comment again, it's on the screen.
Yes.
If you take that off, the names will come up, mate. The names will come up. No, all our names will come up so people know who it is on screen.
All right. See, every day's a learning day for me in here.
It is. You're all right, Irish.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Okay. I just remembered the kids back to school tomorrow, so I fucking run around in a panic making sure I've got everything.
Yeah.
I'm at a point. Who's just fucked off? Anthony.
Is that the lads that you put the link out before?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I got the link now. Was that a wee dig there, aye?
I didn't know. No, I'm on about his link, not his link. We're on about Auntie's link.
No,
Addy, how you doing, Addy boy? Good to see you, pal.
Got
the chat on, right, Addy, mate? We're well, family too.
Yeah, man, big up.
Addy's a nice guy, man.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Scouse?
No, but I just been on the grandkids and that. You know.
Right, Anthony. Listen, mate. So 2 seconds, Scouse. Thanks very much for coming up, pal. And you're more than welcome out here anytime. And we can get a date and whatnot else sorted for me and you doing something. Take care, my pal.
It was a pleasure too. It was a pleasure listening.
Yeah.
He's got a different mindset.
The YouTube will go in a different direction if everybody wants it to go in a different direction. You know what I mean? The key is more people need to go live and be consistent. You know what I mean? Like,
everyone needs to do it though, Irish. Everyone should do it.
I know.
That's the problem.
You know what I mean? Fucking just so everybody knows where to go, and then when it comes around to the drama at night, then people have watched enough during the day where they don't need to. They can switch off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of the ones, isn't it, mate?
8 to 10's perfect fucking time and fuck about online. You know what I mean?
Aye, well, I'm actually just about to wrap this, mate, for that simple reason. I'm working in the morning, and the wee one's going to need a feed quite soon. So. But listen, I can't thank you enough for coming in and everything he's done, guys. It's so appreciate it.
No worries, wish you, lads.
That's what they say here. Teamwork makes the dream work, they say.
100%, mate. And what I've been what I've been advocating for on here, friendship, mate. It means a lot to me, man, and it just shows you that there is decent people on here. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, of course, there is, mate. It's just it's riddling them out, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Riddling good people out, mate. You know what I mean? It's more good people than bad people.
Yep, 100%. Aye, there definitely is. Right, guys, I'm going to hit this in the head.
Okay.
Thanks again, guys.
All the best. Same everybody in the chat. All the best there.
Yes. Well, message, guys. Take care.
I'll be ghosting the rest of the night.
Oh, and I thoroughly enjoyed that there, guys. It was a it was a very, 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 very surprised that Anthony had jumped up. I wasn't expecting that at all. But I just want to say to everybody in the chat and my close mates and that, thanks for coming in. And I've probably done more numbers tonight than I've ever done. And listen, it is quite laughable, but see, for me, that means a ton world to me. I just want to say thanks for everybody coming in. Irish, brilliant, pal. Thanks for the help. Lammy, you know the drill, pal. Scouser, take care, mate. You know, man of the troops. And there's Big House and all. I'll see you soon, big man. We'll get a good fucking gab, a proper gab. Andy, we'll need to get in contact with you again, pal. Life's been a bit hinglish recently, but it's one of them. Jimbo, it's good to see you, Jimbo, the bull. Donna, but not that Donna. You're more than welcome here, pal. It's good to hear and see for you head. Oh, the fucking hell, there she is, the wind-up merchant herself, Lindsay. It's good to see you in, Lindsay. It's really good to see you in, pal. But I just want to thank you all, to shout out everybody's name. I don't want people to get butt hurt. Thanks, Anthony, for coming in. House, Addy, Scottish and Proud, Fighting Irish, Lammy, Donna, Outlaw King, Susie Wong. How could the fuck it affect me, Susie, man? And Maria. Tom too. You know, at River Mac. Just, there's so many people that come in tonight, and it's actually humbled me a wee bit, you know, because I didn't expect to get as many people as I had. But thanks very much for everybody coming. And next time I'm going to try and do some lives. I'm going to try and do one on Wednesday night. I'll do one on Wednesday night, and we can all get a proper catch up again, and we'll come up with some other stuff that we can talk about and break down and see what we think and what not else. Just something different, man. But these are all good people, man. Just remember that we all make mistakes. Every one of us make mistakes. I am not infallible. Trust me, I make mistakes every day. Every day. Well, so I'm told by my partner. But no, fully good people tonight, and I just want to say thank you. And for the people who might not like me, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Just come in with the right attitude, and there won't be any crap. You know what I mean? You'll be, in my mind, you'll be treated the same way. You'll be treated the same for me. So it's all about how you want to show yourself and carry yourself the way I've noticed on here. If you want to carry yourself like a cunt, you'll get treated like one. If you want to come in here and find some form of friendship and middle ground, you'll get that all day long. You know, and the appreciation here for the boys, it's always there. But also the ladies too. But the boys know what I'm on about. And the ladies, sorry, wee Susie. They're a good bunch, and everybody just have a good night and have a blessed day tomorrow, Monday, start of the working week again. There's no rest on me, no rest for the wicked. But yous all have a good night, right? And all and out for me, guys, and just show some love and show some respect to everybody around about you, and place will be different. Take care, everybody.